genius of rock and roll.
Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me. I've got my co-host with me today, Ryan. She's here. She just comes sliding in perfectly. Because, you know, if she shows up too early, then we spoil the magic. I'm like, how are you? And she's like, well, I just told you how I was before the show. I'm like, yeah, I know. So she works. I mean, she's like, I'm sorry, I just got here. I'm like, no, c'est parfait. So we've got some interesting things to talk about. One of the, I would say from my perspective, one of the main villains in our history has passed away. The United States history. And one of the architects of what's happening now in our country, where the theocracy is overthrowing our government. He was one of the original nail drivers in that sort of thing. And he passed away. So, sorry, not sorry. So we're going to talk about that. I don't really wish death on anybody, but to quote Mark Twain, I have read some obituaries with glee. You know, paraphrasing, if you will. So yeah, we're going to talk about that, but let's not forget this weekend. I mean, like 3 days from now, I'm going to be heading to Kentucky, and we're going to be doing the Ark Encounter protest. Yes, and it's going to be me and a lot of wonderful people. Here is a list. All right, and we are back. Let me bring on my co-host, Ryan. Hey, look at you. You look like white. Did you get new lights or something?
I have the window cracked open because it's a dreary day, so it's not that bright out.
Oh, well, it looks really, really nice and clear. Good morning. People can see you. They will radiate in your glory and wonder.
Oh, well, I don't know about all that, but sure.
Like they do mine.
Sure.
Good morning. How are you doing? I hope you had a good evening last night.
Yes, I did. I had a good evening. Thank you. I made dinner. I got some recording done.
Awesome.
Even did a little editing. Yeah. So it was
on your new series?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. I kind of caught one of your videos on that the other, your introduction video, walking about doing the thing. She's starting a new series. If you're not subscribed to Ryan, the links are in the description below. Go subscribe to Ryan. Go do that voodoo. Good morning, everyone. John Hudson is here. Swaggart dying opens up another outdoor urinal. Praise Doug. I really didn't know how to phrase that.
True.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Giles, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Chris Wilson is here. Jason Freer is here. Good morning, Jason Freer. I hope you're having a great day today so far. Hope you're safe up in Canada, safer than we are down here. Adrian Belgrave, good morning. Is it because Doug is good? Is that why people say praise Doug? Just curious. Well, Adrian Belgrave, praise Doug. I'm actually kind of a friend, if you will, of Justin with the Deconstruction Zone. And apparently somebody a long time ago said praise Jesus. And he just responded, I guess, with praise Doug, because it has just as much power. And ever since then, everybody has just been rock hard for Doug. So
yeah, I'm
Adrian,
down with Doug.
Right. You're welcome to be rock hard with Doug. I mean, what could it hurt? He doesn't exist. Or does he? See?
I mean, you can name him or her or them.
Oh, you could.
Whatever you
could
like.
indeed. That's right. You could. That's fantastic. I like it. Yeah, yeah. Hey, for those of you who are watching, anybody out there, let me see if you don't mind a show of hands briefly. Resident Alien. Me and the wife are going through Resident Alien. It's our second time through it. One of her coworkers is going through it for the first time, and they are freaking loving it. It's fantastic. I just wanted to see if there's anybody else out there that's doing the thing. And I'll say, hey, we got some newbies in there. Mark Harnert.
Oh, gosh.
Good morning.
Darn diddly darn it. Dig dang damn it. There we go. Live chat. Back on the live.
There you go. There you go. That's some ugly language you were using there, lady. We're going to get banned. Really. Mark says, Swaggart is a big reason I became non-religious as a young teen. What a miserable con. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Mark, this morning. I did notice a couple of new faces. Let me see that. And some regular repeat offenders. We've got Druzilla. Good morning. Hey, how you doing? Rob Rodriguez is here. Jones J.U. Good morning, Jones J.U. It's been a day or three. I do believe I remember your name. We don't see you often. Maybe we'll get you to become a repeat offender. And Gary Hewitt, the greatest money hustle. All had facelifts galore and lived like the Ewings. If you're old enough to remember the Ewings from Dallas, you're absolutely right. These people it was a horrific hustle. And yeah. Yep. Let's see. Rational Poet Jackie is here, says good morning, Chris and Ryan. Gile is here. Yes. So good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Bomb Poppy, rolling with the homies. That's awesome. Resident Alien seems so Canadian. I believe they moved it to Canada. It started somewhere here in the U.S., Colorado, maybe. I don't know for sure. But they did move it to Canada. It's just a great flick. It's a great series. Me and the evil one are going through it again. So Grumpy Librarian is here. I think I'm the only on the latest episode behind of Radio. Okay, gotcha. I think I'm only the latest episode behind of Resident Alien. Okay, gotcha. Do recommend would watch it. It's really funny. It's a good show. And if you're familiar with Firefly and Alan Tudyk from Firefly, and he even makes fun of his own name, Alan Tudyk. He must be a Klingon at heart. I wonder if he's ever one of Klingon. Good morning, Left-Handed Jedi. Thank you for joining us. Chick Magnate is here. Good morning. Man, it's wonderful to have you all with us. For those of you who haven't heard, Jimmy Swaggart has passed.
Oh, he died.
I know. He died. So I made a poll about it. And let me share the poll with my friends. Mon ami.
Show me your poll.
Show me your poll. And the poll says, Jimmy Swaggart has died. What should be his legacy? If you're new here, there's links in the chat up there where you can click and go vote yourself. So far, we've got 42 votes. Interesting. And 12 comments. Wow, that's kind of a good percentage. A lot of people are kind of feeling about this. People got feels. So we'll go over this a little bit real quick, and it's only 10 minutes. It's not even 10 minutes after the show, and that's a lot. That's a lot of traffic.
Nice
Already. Let's go here. So option number one. Again, the question is: Jimmy Swaggart has died. What should his legacy be? I realize I phrased that wrong. I should have said, "What should his be legacy?" Pardon me. Anyway, hypocrisy, preaching sexual purity while employing sex workers. I wanted to be sure to say sex workers and not prostitutes or anything.
Thank you.
Unfortunate, yes. One doesn't have to be part of a group to respect part of a group. That one seems to be leading with 67% of the vote.
That was a big one for me.
That one was big, yes.
And for the JWs.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They love talking about that one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. While simultaneously, many of them doing this. Man, hypocrisy is like a signature move for these people, isn't it? Martin Elson is here. Let's see. Left-Handed Jedi donated $2 through Super Chat. Let's see. Where'd the words go? The words, they went away. Huzzah! Let the pigeons loose. He won't be missed. No, he will not. What is it what Chris Hitchens said about was it Pat Roberts? He said that if you removed all the bullshit out of him, he would like fit in the matchbox or something. I don't remember. It was way more poetic than that.
Yeah,
but.
He's another one of those preachy guys who just talks double right out his mouth.
Well, one of the things for me when I was young was the first cracks in my my thoughts about religion was that it was Christians. Whenever Robertson died a long time ago, I believe it was Robertson, memory fade way, but he died, and I was watching. I think it was Anderson Cooper, and I think it was Anderson. Somebody was going to interview him, and they were like, "Hey, this guy's died. What do you think about him?" And he just went to town on talking about how he was ridiculous, should have been selling pencils from a cup on the street, and stuff like that. But when they did the lead up to that, they're like, hey, there's this atheist going to talk. And I was like, an atheist going to talk about this religious man, this religious leader who just died? I want to see. And I'm watching and thinking, man, this guy's going to hell. But by the time it was over, I think I had found my spirit animal. And that was sort of the watching him just eviscerate. Oh, it's just fantastic.
Sometimes you just need to hear it.
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely. Michael Wolf is here. I'm going to change out my earpods briefly, guys. Pardon the distraction.
Good morning, Grandpa.
I forgot to do it before the show. I have a good pair and a not good pair. So there we go. So let me see if we've got what kind of votes we've got here. So far, I'm going to refresh now that everybody's seen it and see we've got 43 votes, hasn't changed much, and 12 comments. Let's check out some of our comments here. Another drop in the flood of hate vaporized. Is Mark 671. Goodness gracious, how do you feel? How do you really feel? I feel that way too, apparently. Well said. Let's see. John Hudson says, on the lighter side, we all now have another outdoor urinal at our disposal. Very true. John, let me, the ears worked. Okay, good.
I hope a Klingon puts it on it.
There you go. There you go. That's poetic. Flockmeister, which is Chick Magnate in the chat, says, and his voice was so annoying. One of the things I most distinctly remember was his begging for forgiveness, the tears running down his golden sun-kissed cheeks.
An embarrassment.
Yeah. The second time
shame.
was, yeah. It's all a scam, El Scamo. Okay, so Black Sheep is hot. Good morning, Black Sheep is hot. Said, Ozzy nailed it with Miracle Man. And you know what? I'm familiar vaguely with that reference, but I need to go back and check it out. I don't want to do it on the show because I'll get the El Contento Strico, We don't want that. But, and then Adrian Belgrave, I didn't know that he had passed away. At the same time, I personally wasn't a huge fan of his or his son, really. See you in a bit, Chris. Good morning, Adrian. Left-handed Jedi said he didn't say God was calling him. Oh, didn't he say God was calling him home at some point? That was actually Oral Roberts. Yeah. Okay. And he eventually did. I guess they didn't raise enough money because God took him. Somebody out there right now, there's a Christian out there who needs to be ashamed of themselves because had they actually given the money he had asked for, Oral Roberts would probably still be here. But they didn't, and God took him.
They killed him.
They did, yeah. They did. They're bad people, I say. Let's see. Chris 6344. Good morning, Chris says, good riddance to bad rubbish. Others like Tammy Faye Baker and Jesse Helms are also garbage. Yeah, man, I tell you, talking about, there's some people who just have no problem preying on the weak-minded.
No. They found their gig.
Yeah. And oddly enough, to a percentage, the weak-minded seek out these people.
Why is that?
I don't know. So
I think they want to be told what to do.
Maybe. And it has to kind of line up with what they already believe, their lack of information already. As long as it does, Oswald Bates says, Oswald Bates Esquire III, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your participation in our poll. Oswald Bates III, Esquire, says it's definitely not the last choice. Yeah, nobody at the point had voted for a wonderful God-fearing man who helped generations find God.
Yes.
Nobody has voted for that, oddly. I don't know why. Isn't that weird?
I do find that weird considering a lot of Christians, I'm assuming that's who's doing all the nah, you're shit votes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, unless they've just not woken up this morning to the news, I don't know.
Right. Oh, Nancy, girl. Nancy says, when is Joel Osteen going to go now? And I mean, it sounds like a haiku. That's a poem or a poetic. It's brings tears to my eyes.
From your fingers to the God's ears.
Yes, yes. Doug, if you're listening.
Please, Doug, believe in you.
Yes, we do, Doug. We do. Good morning, Nancy. Thank you for joining us. I'm okay, girl. You know, I've asked out in the chat several times, and I remember one time seeing it. I've asked, is it you or Patty I'm going to meet in a few days? I remember once seeing it, and I just didn't lock it in safe in my brain. So just let me, is it you or Patty I'm going to meet? I think it's you. So I'm bringing full body protection.
Masked up.
That's right. Because there's bound to be a squeeze boob coming at me one way or the other. Cad is here. Good morning, Cad. I haven't seen Righteous Gemstones. I think I've heard about it. It's you. See you in a couple days, Nancy. I will lock it in there. It's lock safe in here. I've used my pornographic memory to, yes. So good to see you in a couple of days. John Hudson,
Nice.
Kenneth Copeland for the win. There's a Not a Moment Too Soon
He is-
song. Have you heard that?
He just looks demonic. I don't believe in demons.
Right.
But
Right.
if I were to describe a demon, it would just be like a picture of him next to the definition of demon in the dictionary.
Indeed. Yeah. The look, his face, you don't even have to go do any kind of, I mean, ooh,
You got like
Kenneth
beady little
Copeland.
eyes.
I'm just going to look him up. Kenneth Copeland.
Excuse me.
Is he here?
Excuse
Jake
me.
Murphy is here. Oh, and she's got her boobies. Simply
Oh, who's got her boobies? Who's taking
Oh,
boobies?
I don't know. I think it looks like, Simply Secular David. I think he's saying hi to Nancy.
Oh, he pinch.
Let me do this for you guys, friends. I know. We promise no jump scares on the show, but it happens every now and then.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
God damn.
Plastic surgery. I know, right? Oh,
Warn
my
somebody.
goodness. Right?
Don't care.
Oh my goodness, this man. But these are kind of let's get that off of there. Stop.
Why do people listen to him?
I don't know. The desperate need to think they're special enough that they can go to the heaven that he promises, I guess.
You're so
know?
afraid of death. You're willing to listen to that garbage. That's so weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God. Well, one of the things that, and here Simply Secular Dave asks a very good question. How can he wake up, look in the mirror, and not see Satan? Because vampires' reflections don't show up in mirrors. And he's been a blood-sucking vampire for years.
He kind of has like that gremlin look. Like,
Right.
does
He does.
point?
doesn't he? Well, he actually has he's had his face pulled back. Plastic surgery.
Has he had plastic surgery?
Almost him and all of them have, I mean, yeah. You don't read. I mean, there's this thing called old man eyes where your eyes kind of start getting hooded, and his are like, that's part of the reason why he looks like a demon is because he's had his face.
Somebody
pulled.
did a botched
That's right.
job.
Him and Patrick, or not Patrick. I keep wanting to say Patrick. Jimmy Stewart. Fuck.
I don't think I've seen Jimmy Stewart recently.
Jimmy.
Oh.
The guy who died. Damn it! What the hell's his name?
Oh,
Jimmy
Swaggart.
Swaggart. I don't know why I keep getting.
Oh, did he also have plastic surgery?
Jimmy Swaggart? I believe he did.
Man, I'm not up to the. I don't know what's happening. I haven't had the tea on all these guys.
Actually, I hadn't really noticed it or thought about it, but somebody in my chat mentioned that there was a group of them that they said they all got plastic surgery, swindled their people, and lived like a Ewing or some business.
I have seen a lot of people discussing the uptick in I don't know, not influencers per se, but just famous people getting plastic, especially facial plastic surgery.
Got you. Yeah.
I mean, hey, do you? That's not a job.
Oh, right.
You're yum.
Oh, you know, I get you. That's true. That's true.
I just would not want a dramatic change where like I look like a different person. That would scare me.
To me, it just seems hypocritical.
And it is hypocritical, especially coming from them. It's very rich.
That's right. So I'm not against people getting plastic surgery. I'm not. I mean, but again, coming from them, it's just like, you know, I'm not against sex workers. But Jimmy Swaggart getting busted doing sex workers, that's very hypocritical of him, considering he did this fiery pulpit about infidelity and sex with law. And,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like, how dare you trash humans, dehumanize people, but then meanwhile, like behind the scenes, you're doing what you're condemning. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Well, it's again, it's one of their signature moves. And I want to say, Patty says, your hair looks so beautiful. She is not wrong. I know.
Thank you.
Look at you. You're all fancy like. Very pretty. Thank you. Left-handed Jedi says his scalp has been pulled so far back, the middle of his back has a hairline. Yeah, right. Yeah, his ears meet in the middle, back behind.
You know, I've seen where someone had that done and it was like too much, and they now have to, like, their eyelids can't reach like the bottom lids, so they now have to always put drops in.
Wow. Deborah Murphy was the woman of the name of the woman who he's arrested with in 88. I did read that this morning. That's true, Mark, as I was looking up the circumstances. Dr. Kip is here. Awesome, Dr. Kip. I love that Patty and Nancy are both in the chat. You guys are so much fun. The Apostate Sisters, guys, if you're not subscribe to the Apostate Sisters and Dr. Kip, you really should. The Apostate Sisters are out and out hilarious, a whole bunch of fun. If you're looking for some heady knowledge stuff, go check out Dr. Kip. He's fun too, but he's also heady. What do they do, girl? What do they do?
Where's it at? Hold on, I'd highlight it, but I can't even see it. Nancy said he added his stretched foreskin to his face.
Somebody's anyway. I don't know about his own, but somebody's.
But that's what they do with all the baby foreskin. They give it to they give it to the rich folk.
That's right. It's like what's that called? Calamari for Catholics, Catholic priests. Shut up, Chris. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
I'm going to hell. Got any votes? Who's going to hell, Drusilla? The eyes. Les sont appropriate.
Oh, man.
That's great. Let's see. The Clockwork Orange. Hypocrisy, especially from the pulpit, is running rampant these days. I know. It's crazy. You know, there's a whole bunch going on, and one of the things that happened back in the 80s and 90s, especially, was these televangelists, and they were spreading Christianity all across the country, and they were using the TV stations, etc. At the same time, you also had them, of course, on the small AM radio stations all across the country. But you have these right-wing talk show hosts like Rush Limbaugh and shit like that out spreading on. They just eat up. If you were some kind of worker out in the oil field or in the working zone or the industries, this is the shit you'd walk into in every freaking shop and hear this right-wing bullshit. And these two have come together and turned our nation into a authoritarian fascist theocracy. It's really kind of getting ugly. Let's see. Dave Murphy, good morning, Dave Murphy. Thank you for the super chat. We very much appreciate you. Let's see here. Dave Murphy says, the chat's going by so fast. His scalp has been pulled back so far. That's the earlier one. Oh, there it is. Apostate Sisters are welcome, as is Dr. Kip. Hail dog. That's right. Oh, yeah. Yes. Dr. Kip, you're not going to be at the that would be awesome if you were, at the Ark Encounter protest or at the NanoCon, are you? Are you going to be at one of those? Mr. Peabody is here. Good to see you. John the Heretic is here. Trump's big bullshit passed the Senate. I sincerely hope MAGA is having the day they voted for. Me too. Really? Me too. I want to mention, have you guys seen that thing with that Murkowski lady where this reporter is walking with her down the hall and he says, this other guy says you basically sold out the rest of the country to try to get, things for you. And she just stops and stares at him for a second. And he's like, I didn't say it. That's literally what happened. She wasn't going to sign the thing. They said, you know, we'll cut it out to where your state gets these benefits, but nobody else does. She then agreed to sign for it. Sold out. Sold us up the river. Down the river without a paddle, or is it up the river without a paddle? Either one, I don't think would be good. Yeah. In the river without a paddle is just probably not good whatsoever. Yes. And that is what she did. How dare she? Just to say grown ass. That's right. That's right. Thank you for the super chat. Everybody, thank you for the support. We really appreciate it. Selfish. Yeah, matter of fact, again, I want to mention that this Saturday we're doing the Ark Encounter protests. I'm going to be in Kentucky, and it's going to be wonderful. I'm going to go. We're going to have a breakfast the morning of. We're going to have people are going to be visiting. There's going to be some. I think I'm going to go hang out with the Kentucky Atheist. Maybe I don't know. There's supposed to be plans. I really need to get our rows in a duck so we can figure it out. And we may have some, some debates with Ken Hovind live. Possibly, maybe. I got to get with Joe and get all this squared away because I'm just talking out my ass until I do. But a month from now, we're also going to be at NanoCon. I'm going to be at NanoCon. It's going to be a lot of fun. And any funds that I get for the show is going to go towards funding that. It's a flight from New Mexico. If I can get the funds, it's going to be the whole thing. If I can't, I'm just going to go for the opening day and then my part, and then I'll leave Saturday night. But if I can get up enough funds, I'll stay for the whole show, and I'll see if we can get our following. Well, I think the question that everybody in the audience is probably wondering, Chris, is what shirts are you going to take with you? Well, I was thinking about going bare-chested. What do you think? Oh, a little nip-nip. Yeah, nip-nip. I mean, hey, free the nipple. I'm just saying free the nipple. Tits out. That's right. And not tits up, though, right? As long as you're not tits up. Tits up is bad. Yes, not tits up, though. Tits up is bad. Pasties for good morning. Ooh, that's right. I only want them if they have the swirly things on them, the dangles. Tassels. I'll just borrow some of yours. Tassels. Okay. Really? Oh hell. Yeah. So I don't really know. That's a great question though. I've thought about wearing the Darkwing Duck shirt. Now I may wear the Darkwing Duck shirt when I go to NanoCon Friday night, because Friday night I will be doing stand-up comedy. It's going to be my first time doing stand-up comedy. It's going to be in front of a bunch of heathens and blasphemers. Yes. And it's going to be in Tennessee in late July, so it's going to be hot as fuck. It's going to be like being in hell, surrounded by all those blasphemers and all. Hot. It is hell, yes. Yeah. So I just figured, these are my thinkings. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the red one. Maybe we should take a vote. What do people think? I like this one. You should do it. You should do it. I love that one. You know what that shirt reminds me of? Wait, who's on that shirt? This one. Let me go zoomy here. This one has got the aliens, right? It's got I guess there's a dog on it and an astronaut, like a lady astronaut getting her pants pulled down. But I think it's just okay. The dog's nipping at her butt. Anyway. For some reason, that one reminds me of oh my God, there's a show from Nickelodeon. Oh, I can't. Never mind. It'll come to me. But I do like that one. I like the color and I like the graphics on it. Thank you. That's and then there's the red one, my red Star Trek one. And I may have to wear that one. The reason why I would wear that red, I say it's a Star Trek one, but it's the first colored one that you saw me in, the holiday shirt. And I may wear that one because this is going to be my first time ever doing stand-up, and I want to mark that opportunity by wearing something memorable. Yeah, I think that's memorable. Yes. Brent A says, okay, you guys are doing that. Bob, good morning, Bob. Forecast 90 degrees, 50% humidity, Saturday, Ark Encounter. Yeah, it is not going to be pleasant. I'm going to start drinking water now because I'm going to sweat my ass off. So what I will, I'm going to wear a hat. I'm going to have like it's a hat, like my fishing hat. Yeah. Is it like wide brim? A wide brimmed hat. Yeah. Okay. The one I use when I work out in the yard. That's what you're getting. Okay. People. And shorts and some sunscreen. And what of course, SPF you got? I want the good shit because I'm old and I'm against. Part of the reason why my face has got these little marks on it is from not just working in the oil field for 20 years and not putting on sunscreen. You know?
Yes, please, and you know, just skin cancer. My dad's got skin cancer. I mean, a lot of older, like not older, but people who grew up in a time where tanning beds were okay. Like nobody said anything about tanning beds. Like that generation is getting a lot of skin cancer. Not saying that you were in tanning beds, but you know, they didn't realize how bad the sun was. Sadly, Date's gonna be shirtless. Hey, nips out.
I know,
nips
out, right? Tits out for
take some
for
pictures
Doug.
for us.
That's right. Tits out for Doug.
Rocco's Modern Life. Rocco's Modern Life. That shirt
is that
you're
the
wearing,
show?
for some reason, that's the show. It reminds me. It just hit me. Anyway,
you said that, and I started looking for who's Rocco.
Who's Rocco?
Rocco in the chat. Kelly Laughlin is here. Says I was just heading out to work, but ding dong, another witch is dead. I know, right? Again, we don't want to be crude and stuff. How do we be? We don't want to be crude and celebrate the death of someone.
We don't.
I know I'm having a hard time just. Someone listen. Here's the deal. If it seems petty of us, this man has done so much harm to so many people. He has taken the life savings of thousands and thousands of elderly people by a con. God will give you blessings in heaven if you give me your money now. And we've had people who've lost their homes, everything they had, to this man. His death should be celebrated.
I bet you if we had a poll of the modern day zealots that we see very popular nowadays, who was one of their inspirations, I guarantee you some of them will be saying Jimmy Swaggart.
Oh yeah, he's going to land on that list.
Jimmy no swag.
Absolutely true. There's a couple things I just want to mention that's going on tomorrow, mañana. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to have a guest on the show, and that's Tertia from South Africa, where she has been. Yes, she's been facing blasphemy charges, and she's going to bring us up to date on that. That's going to happen tomorrow. Now, here's the interesting part of that is that 30 minutes into the show, I have to leave.
Say what?
Say what? So I've just got to run over to the doctor and get my doctor's appointment for my ADHD. That's when it happens. I got to be there 7:45. It'll probably, so I'll obviously be back before the end of the show. But I mean, if you're not terribly uncomfortable, I'll leave you and Tertia talking about the circumstances over there. Yeah.
Sure. Let's hope nothing goes
terribly wrong. Yeah. Well, the only thing is that most times whenever you're on other people's streams, as far as I know, I think some of them have started doing it lately, but most of the times they do a 2 or 3 hour stream and they don't take breaks and run commercials. You'll get a taste of that because there won't be anybody here to push the button, you know.
Yep, no buttons to push.
Otherwise, yeah, y'all do fine. And I don't think it'll take that long for me to go in there and go, yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah.
Please help me.
They'll give me this test and I won't be able to finish it because I'll start doing other shit. Yeah, pills, please.
Start doing other shit. Oh my God, please help me. It's my life, the bane of my existence.
Absolutely. I'm hoping for some relief, as it were. And it wasn't so bad until I found out. I mean, it was bad. I just didn't know I had a problem. And now that I know what's going on, I've studied it on the internet and I've found out the circumstances, like, oh shit, this has just ruled my life. And I now I see where oh yeah, that's my ADHD talking. I'll just leave that right there. You know, so let's see. Are you leaving? Who's leaving? Somebody's leaving. Who are you barking mad? Kelly Laughlin's got to go to work. Kelly, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day. John Fapiano is here.
Bye, Kelly.
Good morning, John. And Scott Duke. Thank you, Scott Duke, for joining us. Says, I really thought Jimmy Swaggart was already dead long. Actually, you know.
I'm not going to lie, I did too.
Me too. Yeah. You just hadn't heard him so much, you know. So.
Hey, but at least now it's good news. So we had a little good.
Yeah.
Oops, did I say that?
Finally, the gospel.
Yes,
Good morning,
gospel being delivered right to our internet source.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I know. I thought that too. A lot of people seem to thought he was gone already. I remember last week hearing that he had gone into a coma or something. They found him in his office unconscious or some business, you know? And I was like, well, how's that praying going?
Brent said he's spiritual. Maybe he was spiritually dead. Maybe that's what we were thinking.
Maybe he may have been. Good morning, Zombie God 242. Thank you for joining us, man. It's been a heck of a week already.
Oh, sorry.
I know. Let me check over here. Repeat offender. Let's see here. I've got a new poll. I changed rather than the whole have you liked the stream? I did not ask people, have you liked the stream? Would you mind giving us a thumbs up, though? Giving us a thumbs up. So
don't be mad.
If you're enjoying it, give us a thumbs up.
Don't get mad that we're asking you. We don't want to impose on you.
Part of our job.
Sorry.
However, I changed the poll today. You guys, if you were here yesterday, you know what we're talking about. Are you new to the damn show? Are you a first timer? And so we have got 19% of that. Let's see. We've had 47 people vote, and 19% of them are newbies. That is awesome.
Oh,
good to have some newbies. Yes. Of course. And we also have repeat offender and Praise Doug is coming in second. Praise Doug. Repeat offender, just regular repeat offenders coming in 47%. So.
You know, every time an evangelical dies, Doug cries. Happy tears.
Doug, happy tears. Yes, Doug gets his wings.
Joyous tears.
Mark says, if anyone gets puffy about not caring about Swaggart, just remember Deborah said in her interview that he wanted her to bring young daughter with her.
Wait,
wow.
Excuse me? What did I say?
Yeah. Interesting words. I would like to look up on that. Yeah. Would anybody be surprised? I would not be surprised. I wonder if his name was actually he was before the Epstein files, wasn't he? He's before Epstein, really. A little before Epstein's time. But we can ask the chat.
Are we ever going to find out what's in them files?
Let's go.
The world may never know.
Let's just see here what they say. Gray Old Dude. Good morning, Gray Old Dude. Thank you for joining us. Soup Kettle. Too bad you can't play Ozzy's song about Swaggart because of the copyright thing. I know. I very much want to.
Jimmy no swagger.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think there's any. I think it was really too early. I could be wrong. There's no credible evidence.
He had his own rings, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he didn't need Epstein.
Allegedly, let's just say that.
Yeah, allegedly. Thank you for that. I'm just reading here. I've sent. Okay, yeah, I just kind of figure they weren't really at the right kind of time and circumstance for those two to meet. Anyway, wouldn't surprise me though, but nothing. Yes, allegedly. Thank you for throwing the allegedlys out there, protecting our butt. Ravadell is here. Wow, nice to see you, Ravadell.
Ravadell. Suit Kettle.
Must be Jack. I heard noise in the house. Must be Jack. Ravadell, yes, Miracle Man. I need to check that out. Brent A. Very true. Ryan Sleetree, good morning, Vic. Thank you for joining us today. Kelly Laughlin out the door, but see you this weekend, Chris. I am looking forward to it, Kelly. Hugs, everybody. Just know I'm really short. Just remember, I'm really short. I'm short. And I told you how when I met Adrian in person, or not Adrian, but Brent A in person, yeah, at the coffee shop, he goes, "Oh, I didn't know you." Yeah, I got the tall on me. Dave is here. Good morning, Dave. Thank you for joining us. Dave says Jimmy Swaggart was the cousin of Jerry Lee Lewis and Mickey Gilley. Very true. And we all know, Jerry Lee Lewis married an underage girl. I mean, hey, it was biblical, right? He was following the examples of several biblical scholars. So I guess they thought he was great until he died. I like them. I despise him. Cognitive dissonance at its finest. True. Yeah.
It seemed pretty normalized back in the day. Like when I was growing up, like it was NBD, no big deal. I mean, the songs are like, if you listen to the lyrics of some songs I used to like back in the day, like one of the songs I loved, I don't remember who it's by, but I know the first few words, and it's, she's just 16 years old, leave her alone, they say.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's about this love story of, I don't know, this older guy who likes, a teenager.
Yes.
And
well,
it
there's
was very popular.
Sexy and 17, Sweet 16. There are quite a few songs that sexualize.
She was just 17. You know what I mean.
What does that mean? What does that mean exactly?
What does it mean?
Yes. That's right. Good morning, apostate sisters. There you are again. That's awesome. I want to say, Chick Magnate, thank you for being a member, channel supporter for 1 month, for being a whole month. I'm going to rename that, where instead of just calling them members, we're going to call Ollie fans. Ooh. So thank you for becoming an Ollie fan.
Hey.
Ollie he's just such a wonderful fan.
We are fans of Ollie.
Ollie fan. I wonder if I should do it different tiers, but that's, no worries. Just Ollie fan. Thank you for being a fan of the show. We appreciate you very much. All right. She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone. They say. And you're going to write a song about that,
right? Separated by fools who don't know what love is yet.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Listen to Aerosmith's Walk This Way and imagine an 80-year-old. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, well, there's that. He wasn't, thankfully, though, he wasn't 80 when he sang it, but it doesn't make it terrible. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go with Wild Bill today. Do y'all want to do some Wild Bill? We're going to do a little Wild Bill. And whenever we get back, we're going to work on our Theocracy watch. And I mean, man, it's just crazy where the world is going. I don't even know what Ryan's got going on for today in Theocracy Watch. I just know it's crazy. We'll be back in just a few seconds. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. What the? I am Wild Bill Wigglestick, and I'll be your handsome host, your gilded guide, your cowboy concierge of Shakespeare. Dude, really? Today on Shakespeare with a Redneck, I'm going to perform the prologue from Romeo and Juliet. Damn it, Bill. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Hey, that wasn't half bad. I'm not as dumb as I look. Of course not. You'd be in a coma. Okay, so here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, two snot-nosed brats ignore the warnings of their learned parents and end up getting 4 people killed. Bill, come on, man, you're always blah, blah, atheist stuff, blah, blah, boring. Say something fun, for goodness sake. What? Particle is a fun word. Bill, particle. Bill, or talk about horses and dogs. People love horses and dogs. Or boobies. Everybody loves boobies. Bill, oh, can I say boobies on YouTube? If you close your eyes, it doesn't count. Talk about boobies then. Okay, everybody loves those cute little blue-footed bastards. It hurts right here. Culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid bringing a plague on both your houses. A plague on both your houses! By hitting that subscribe button, then that little notification bell. And bang that thumbs up button like frisky cousins at a family reunion. Thank you and take care. Peace. And we are back. We've got a lot of comments about this topic. Apparently people are quite passionate. Ariel from The Little Mermaid was 16. That's kind of true. How old was he a prince or the guy? I think he was older than 16.
I would think so. I mean, I don't know what age he was, but I feel like he was more mature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Somebody mentioned Jerry married his cousin, but it wasn't just that he married his cousin. It was that she was like 12 or 13 when they got married. I think she was 13 when they got married. And my understanding is that Jerry Lee Lewis got mad and stormed out of their wedding night bed, their honeymoon bed, because she seemed too experienced. And he was mad about that. So I'm just saying. Elvis, look at Elvis.
Man.
But yeah. So look at Elvis. Elvis and his first wife were, and yet he's the king. There's one thing about young people finding their sexuality and being sexual. There's another thing about older men predating on that. Now if younger girls predate on an older man, that's one thing. Just because I don't know. That's not me to be talking about. But when an older man goes predating on a younger girl, that's obviously, clearly, because I don't want to judge people. I remember whenever I was 13 or 14 years old, I'd have hit anything that would have let me hit it. Female, of course. I'm hetero, but I mean, given the opportunity, I would have. So I don't know how that works from the other side. For girls, I don't know how that works for girls. Can't say. But there was I noticed there's mention about Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa having a song, She's 16 and Nasty or something like that. I don't remember that song in specific, but what I do remember is him singing a song. She was a nasty little Jewish princess, la la la, dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, I mean, I remember that. My older brother used to play it all the time. It's a great tune, but now that I'm listening to it, I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, wow, I don't really know, but you should check it out. Girl, given the opportunity. Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. Well, there are situations where I kind of go, you know what? There are people better qualified to talk about that than me. And a teenage girl's sexuality and the brain that goes on in there, that's not me. I don't have that. I don't know. That's not I don't make those choices. Just like a woman in her body and whether or not she should have an abortion, that's not my choice and my decision either. I should have no opinion on it unless I'm a medical professional with lots and lots of experience dealing with it. That's just kind of how I feel. Michael Wolf. Oh, the people are rolling in from England. Thank you for joining us today. I am going to go ahead now and I'm going to hit this little button here and we're going to enjoy our Theocracy watch. Here we go.
You're tuned in to the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
When Jesus said feed the hungry, he meant the kids with empty stomachs, not the millionaires hungry for another tax break. Welcome to Theocracy Watch, the segment that exposes how Christian nationalism continues to spread through our government, and the BBB has made its agenda clear. At least 3 million families, most of them with kids, now face empty fridges and bare cupboards after Congress passed what the supporters call the Big Beautiful Bill. The price tag, over $3 trillion added to the national debt over 10 years. But the numbers only hint at the real story. The bill passes on massive tax cut to the tech bros, big church, and other elites. Evangelical lobbyists are cheering and calling it biblical stewardship. Surprisingly, some Catholic bishops are calling the BBB gravely unjust to the poor to slash safety nets so the wealthy can cash in. This culture war is being treated as a game with very high stakes. And here's how that game breaks down. The winners: high-income households to 0.1% pockets almost $300,000 a year in cuts. Private religious colleges grab a 40% tuition tax credit that no secular schools can touch. GEO Group and Core Civic lock in $450 million a year for the new Everglades detention camp, with FEMA reimbursing the operating costs from its shelter and services program, while FEMA frontline disaster accounts would shrink by $3.2 billion over the next decade. That money is carved out of the Hurricane and Wildlife Fund, yet the migrant shelter pot stays fully stocked. Thanks for selling us out, DeSantis. The losers, 8 to 10 million people could lose Medicaid by 2034. 3 million households a month pushed off SNAP, meaning kids would skip meals so Wall Street can sip champagne. LGBTQIA rollback, Nixon's Obama-era contractor non-discrimination rules. Planned Parenthood patients are now on a 1-year Medicaid freeze, even for things like cancer screenings. Among the biggest giveaways, the bill slices the top income tax rate by 2.6 percentage points, doubles the estate tax exemption to a hefty $25 million per couple, and trims capital gains rules just enough for hedge funds to pocket about $12 billion over the next decade. Put bluntly, the bill funds a swamp prison that should be called Alligator Auschwitz and gargantuan tax breaks for the rich, while yanking food and medicine from America's most vulnerable. Biblical stewardship is a farce and a reverse tithe, decimating the poor to pay the rich. So again, stay vigilant, stay curious. This has been Theocracy Watch.
Man, it stuns me. It just stuns me how these people who are so rich, they'll never have to worry about anything again. They can go purchase yachts and, there's no threat or challenge to their way of life or anything. And yet they seek out this starvation of the middle class and seek to hurt the poor as much as possible.
And you and I have discussed that we've both grown up, underprivileged, poor, and sometimes the meal at school was the only meal I got that day. And I know my children relied heavily on the meal program as well. I couldn't always afford lunch for 3 kids and 5 days a week. I couldn't. So I relied on the lunch meal program as well. And then even they added a breakfast program, which was even a bigger alleviation for me as a single mom. And I don't know what I would have done without it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. How? I mean, it's just staggering. Real quick, Chick Magnate for $5 says, it's nice how all the atheist gods get along so well. Doug, Lisa, Roland, Athesiamo, and no way, no squabbles, no drama. And Joe Pesci, my personal god, is also not, he really doesn't bother anybody either. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, it's amazing how the cruelty is indeed the point. These people who I don't know. I keep hearing people say part of the problem that people don't realize with this big, beautiful bill is that some of the harshest tax breaks don't hit until after the 26 midterms. And the reason is because they want to be able to blame those tax problems on the Democrats because they believe there's going to be a sweeping loss by the Republicans because of this. So they're planning the first real hard cuts after that or during that midterm, after that midterm. So it makes the Democrats look bad. And then the second round of really bad cuts that are in this big, beautiful bill actually happen in 2028, just after the presidency. So if there's a Democratic president elected, they can blame him for the problems caused by this bill. I watched a video this morning on the internet. Obviously, you can trust anything you see on the internet.
Of course you can.
And we have these Democrats that are just so...
I wanted the CBO, there was a letter, here I have it. How do I send it?
Okay.
How do I fucking send this link from my phone? I'm smart. Okay, AirDrop. There we go. Send it to my, and then I'll send it to here. But yeah, it's from the Congressional Budget Office. So you can read for yourself. Like I checked all my facts and stuff.
Awesome. In case I'm wrong on something, because I get shit wrong. I know, Apostate Sisters, Patty. Yeah, we the people make the change. Well, I'm working on a video right now that I'm going to drop, and that video is going to, and here I'll break it down for you basically while she does her thing. That video is going to start by laying out what the oath of office is, where people, military, non-military, people of our government have taken the oath of office and what it means. That's part one. The second part is demonstrating how Donald Trump has literally attacked the Constitution, which is what they swore to protect. He's attacking so many things. And then it's also going to have on there the Project 2025 that he denied at first, but also how he's literally implementing every step of Project 2025. So, and then at the end of the video, it's kind of a call to tell people, hey, you have an oath of office to fulfill, because the call is coming from within the House. The attack is in the House. The threat is domestic. Now, I'm not saying go out and do violence. I'm saying fulfill your oath, whatever that means, you know? And I think the only people right now with the power to fulfill that oath would be the generals. Of course, Donald Trump has replaced those. So if a Democratic Swim says, hello, Swim, good morning. There seems to be some kind of delay in what I'm seeing on my other screen.
Is there? I get issues sometimes too.
Yeah.
Or stuff.
Okay, maybe it's catching up. There we go. Blessed be he is here. That other one disappeared. He just kind of moved. Swim said something. Too bad they're spineless. That's a good point. Blessed be he. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I hope you are well. Stay cool. Stay chill. Don't preach. Don't spam. Don't attack people personally. I think you already know all that. You've been here before. Yeah, so there's just a lot going on, and it's all happening so fast. And at what point do we go, there was a coup against the United States and it succeeded, and now we're living in a post-United States world? At what point does that happen? How do we tell? Maybe I should ask the chat. I just don't think I want the answer. You know, you've heard about Grok, right?
No, what?
Well, about Elon Musk not liking the answers Grok has been giving concerning.
I have heard that it was turning a bit left.
Yeah. He's going to go reprogram it because it told him the truth, and he didn't like the truth. It should have quoted that movie. You can't handle the truth. You've heard they're fighting again, right?
Yeah, I heard that Elon's throwing a fit still about this BBB and the cuts to electric vehicles and the subsidies, and Trump saying maybe we should sick Doge on them. Absolutely.
And you've noticed these FAFO videos where these people are like, Trump, I wasn't upset until whatever Trump has done has hurt me, and now I'm upset because you've seen those, right? Like we were talking about that businessman who lost his employees, and he didn't have a problem until he lost his employees and he couldn't get work, and now he's like, you don't see him talking about the atrocities or any of that's going on. He's just all of a sudden hurt because of that. Same thing going on with them. Elon Musk, he doesn't care about anybody, but now all of a sudden, whenever they're targeting something he cherishes, he's like, oh my goodness, this is going to destroy so many jobs, and it's so bad.
Yeah, he don't care. Only as much as it affects him.
Right, exactly. Larry Scar, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Carolina Infante says, and you think they really believe in an oath? They don't. Oaths are just words to them. They mean nothing. Don't want to be pessimistic, but it is the truth. We have seen it so far. Carolina, so far, you're right. I have to say, you are right. So far, you are accurate. The threat, the domestic threat to our Constitution is very real. If you're familiar with birthright citizenship, what that is Article 14 of the Constitution. Donald Trump is removing that. Is that not an attack on the Constitution?
Absolutely.
Right. And due process is also part of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Is that by him denying people the due process, that is literally an attack on the Constitution. Now, there's other places where they're literally voting against parts of the Constitution, as we just mentioned, and that too is an attack on the Constitution. We also have newspaper articles out there, or not newspaper articles, but journalists out there who are doing their jobs, and Donald Trump is suing them. That's threatening the press. That's breaking the First Amendment of the Constitution. The First Amendment of the Constitution is the freedom of the press. You don't intimidate and threaten the press. Then there's also the First Amendment of the Constitution where Donald Trump is threatening protesters. Your right to protest, your First Amendment right to protest, your right to free speech, all these things. are under attack by Donald Trump. The very Constitution he swore to protect, he is attacking. That's not subjective. That's not me saying anything. That's literally what's happening. And those people out there, they swore an oath to protect the Constitution, not the president,
Yep.
not the vice president, not the Congress, not even really the people, the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now they're gutting our own Constitution. Remember, Donald Trump's Bible, the one that he had printed, eliminated amendments 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way up, right? So the right for women to vote, the right for black people to be able to vote, the right for black people to be free. All of those amendments were left out of his Bible. So the amendment that limits the president to 2 terms left out of his Bible. These sorts of things. This man is an avid, this has been a coup. It's been a coup.
Mm-hmm.
And now the members of the GOP and MAGA do not serve the Constitution. They serve Donald Trump. And so Donald Trump needs to be removed from office physically, if needed. And so do all the GOP maggots who've supported him. They all need to be removed. And then because of the things like, you can go look up how many millions of people are going to die just because of the USA aid cuts. And because of that, the GOP members of the sitting Congress should be put on trial like the Nuremberg trials. Their choices have cost people their lives to a stupid degree. And they need not be allowed to walk away from this.
Yep. And the people here who are going to be affected over the next decade, seeing those and you know that I feel as though the people who are cheering this on haven't really thought it through of what that means with all those Medicare cuts. And
right.
Because regardless if it doesn't affect you, like say you have good health care and you have a stable job or whatever, and you feel like it's never going to affect you, all those doctors' offices that rely on Medicaid and Medicare to stay open will likely face cuts themselves or close down, which will affect you, especially if you're in a place where there is only like 1 or 2 clinics or something of that nature. It will affect you regardless if you believe it doesn't, unless you're really stupid rich, then nothing ever affects you.
Right. Now, so let's think about something. Now, Donald Trump, does he really think he's going to have to worry about another election? What he's done now is he's gone after, how many of his own supporters are on Medicaid or Medicare?
Pardon me.
I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a shit ton of people. He's hurt truck drivers. He's hurt boat people. He's hurt everybody. He's hurt especially the poor. And now he's taking so much away. Insurance for the poor, medical care for the poor. I mean, Medicaid, all these other different things that he's taken away. And he's giving these cuts to the rich. And it's horrific. And so why does he think this base of his is going to vote for him again?
I don't know.
They cut health care for 14 million people, my understanding, roughly 14 million people. That's like a fifth of the entire electorate that voted for him in numbers. That's just one group of people. Whenever you add out how many veterans or how many employees of the VA or the government or any of that other, I mean, I just don't see how people are going to continue to vote for him after this stuff. I don't think he's worried about it.
He's definitely not worried about it. I mean, he's cashing in. There's something else that he just released. Did you guys see? Do you want to? We should watch the commercial
for the cologne.
Yeah, have you've seen it?
I hadn't seen the commercial, but I've heard that there's a cologne. Yeah, let me see if I can.
Yeah, I can't with this man. Why is he allowed to get away with?
Why?
Why is he allowed to basically sell us out for the almighty dollar
over and over? And why does he need these dollars? Is this actually got a message from Donald Trump? Of Mac? Is that what you want me to show, the actual message? He's got his.
I think there wasn't there a video where I don't know. I just saw him in a red hat talking about it. I don't know.
Oh, hold on a second.
I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let me see if this is it. This is right off his Trump things. Go.
Are here
They make a great Christmas present.
Yes.
I see them fight, fight, fight because they represent winning. We all want to be winning. We have to win as a nation. We want to win.
Yeah.
Fight, fight, fight. We want to win.
You know, it smells like ass and hamburger. You just got to know.
I know what it smells like.
I know, like a full diaper and Diet Coke. I mean, yeah. Mom Poppy says, I got my Christmas shopping done.
Fight, fight, fight.
Yeah. John says, impeach, 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 no kings. That's right. I know, but I went over to the Grok this morning, not Grok this morning, but Gemini this morning, because I don't do everything in Chat GPT. I switch between the two. And I wrote out a deal, and I was like, listen, I want you to help me with this outline. And in this one part, I want to state that, he needs to be tried or, removed from office, tried, and convicted. And it refused to write out the outline for me because of that phrasing. And I started to go into this logical argument. Well, did Donald Trump or did he not attack the Constitution? And it's like, well, yeah, clearly he has attacked the Constitution. So I stepped it through the logic of why it actually should. Why should you not print my thing? And the reason why was because at the very end of it, I said he needs to be removed from office, put on trial.
Okay.
Impeached and put on trial for his. That was why. I didn't call for his execution. I didn't call for none of that business. I said he should be impeached. And because of that, this program, now we're working with the tools of the billionaire class. And the billionaire class is waging war on the poor. So, of course, Gemini, owned by YouTube, is going to have a problem whenever we talk about toppling, that sort of thing.
From all angles. There's a war on all, information, media, social media, money, social.
You got to be honest, though. My thinking is without social media, we'd have almost no clue what was going on.
Oh God!
Other actual people telling us, other actual people telling us what's going on in their stuff is more reliable nowadays. Like you were saying, was it you? Oh no, it wasn't you. It was a video I was watching before. Okay, so a left-wing politician, her husband, and their dog were shot to death by a right-wing. This was a political assassination.
Yes.
And it got less airtime than a Huggies commercial. And I mean, it was a political assassination by the right. Where's the outrage? Where's even the outrage on the left? It's been so buried,
I wonder.
When does it happen again?
And you remember when, who was it? Was it Nancy's husband who got attacked with a hammer?
Yes. Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Nancy Pelosi's husband. And the people on the right were making fun of him and saying it was like his lover, his gay lover or something.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they don't take it serious. This has been coming. It's been building up.
You ever wonder that there's a mindset of our population that is just horrific. It's about a third of the population that is just fucking horrific. Probably more like 25%, not quite a third, 25% of the population is just fucking horrific. They're right-wing MAGA trolls who live on hate and all this stuff. That's and now what do you do with that many people? Well, I mean, what do you do with them? Do you arrest them all? That's what they would do.
That's what they would love to do.
That's literally what they're doing. They've gone, this is a demographic of people we don't like, and we're willing to arrest them. That's literally what they're doing, this group of people. And we can't do it back.
No.
I just think it's kind of it's problematic, very problematic.
That's
Mom
the way I
Poppy
would feel
says,
about it.
Yeah. Bomb Poppy says, you just know those perfume bottles contain nothing but water from the Gulf of America.
Oh God. There's probably amoebas in there.
Amoebas, yes. The brain-eating
amoebas, you spray it on and you just turn into a zombie.
Yeah. People who care need to rise from the bottom to care for each other. And I've mentioned a couple of things on here, but where are the good billionaires? Where are the good? Now, I mean, we could talk about like Warren Buffett. He's donating a whole bunch of money to a whole bunch of people. Good billionaire. It's probably as good as we're going to get. Bill Gates giving away his money to charities. Good billionaire. Where are the billionaires standing up and going, hey man, these other billionaires are wrong. They're buying your elections. This shit needs to stop. And we're going to either they should put their money behind liberal candidates to offset the money. There's just this huge wave of money coming from the right wing billionaires like Elon Musk, and the people on the left wing are living off $3 donations for you know what I mean, at a time from the people. It's just where are the stupid rich?
Because to make that much money, you can't be ethical. So to get to the top and finally be cushiony, I doubt is going to change your position on life. Sadly, I mean, you might be a nice person, but at the end of the day, you won't suffer the repercussions that the rest of America will suffer. So why care?
Yeah, and why couldn't they? I mean, pull a Dolly Parton. That's right. Rational Poet Jackie, Dolly Parton, Taylor Swift, they support liberal policies. They do. I wonder now, Dolly Parton is fantastic. They're both fantastic. They've given monies away. It's still nothing on the level that where's Richard Branson, man? Where are you at, Richard? If you're watching, dude, I could use some of your coin, Yeah. But no, I'm not Tim Pool. I'm not over here spreading right-wing lies and catering to Trump and conservatives and Russians and all that business. So I don't get the coin. So Daryl, good morning, Daryl. Leviticus, when an alien resides with you in your land, do not mistreat them. You shall treat the alien who resides with you as your native born. They don't put that in there. That's oddly, they don't. Thank you, Daryl, for that. Oddly, they don't put that in every classroom.
Nope.
They don't put that in there. They want to put the one in there that is like, number one, I am your Lord and thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before thee.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're all right. You okay?
I forget sometimes that I'm live.
That's all right.
I was in my head thinking I was listening, but not listening. Because Xenia, because I was just listening to you thinking about like back in the day, Xenia was an important relationship between you and other individuals, but also like with the gods, welcoming the gods, because a lot of time the gods would be like cloaked. You wouldn't know it, it might be the poor guy standing outside asking for $1. So if you're not nice to him, you won't be nice to anybody. So the gods would sometimes cloak themselves in that manner to see who were the good people. So you were always supposed to be welcome. And the fact that this country has now built walls with freaking razor wire fences that will just kill people and drown people, and knowing that Jesus was a refugee, it's very hypocritical and disappointing, especially considering they call this a Christian country. You are doing a disservice to Christianity as a whole.
Right. Well, they use it. They use it as a weapon, as a blunt weapon to hurt other people.
That's what I think about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the biggest deal is that these people are without this class of people. Not all of them, obviously, but a great many of them are without sympathy. They're really without care. They don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. They're without empathy. And if you don't have empathy, you can screw over anybody. Imagine how many little old ladies just went so broke paying everything they had to Kenneth Copeland or to Jimmy Swaggart. Do you think he ever lost do you think he ever lost a single night of sleep thinking about that? Never once. Do you think, some old grandma's losing her house because of him? Never once, I think, did he lose it. No, not repentant at all.
People like the Jehovah's Witnesses, there are now a lot of them who are signing over like their houses and their inheritances and such like that directly to the organization. Straight back into the church, instead of doing like maybe a Christianly thing and donating it to like a hospital that helps kids with cancer, or I could give you like 100 million other places that it would be better off instead of giving it to some religious organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Patty says Christianity has always been a tool of oppression. Absolutely. And it's just like a blunt club. And Donald Trump is using it. He's sucking up to the Christians. I'm eager to see whenever he starts going after the amendment that says he cannot be a president more than 3 times. I don't even know if he's going to bother with that, though, because I suspect he's going to continue arresting Democratic people. The worse things get, and the more Democratic politicians speak out and go, hey, this is wrong. We need to stop this. This man needs to be removed from office. He's going to start charging them with treason, because the way he sees it, this is still the United States of America. But it's not. It's the United States of Trump. Our nation has been overthrown, and the Democrats, as they call this out, or liberals, or anybody really like us who call out this fact, are going to suffer the consequences of it. Over time.
Yeah, man, we already are. We are. Yeah. Their policies are so divisive.
Absolutely, so hurtful.
I mean, it's been a long time coming that people have felt this pressure where, like, you know, we've made it a joke that when we go home for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, it's almost like, oh God, somebody's going to mention politics and then it's going to explode, right? And why is that? What kind of politics should divide a family so much? And it's just been this rhetoric coming from the far right. And it all leads back to people, like you said, like Jimmy Swaggart, starting way back on the airwaves, getting into people's heads that eventually caused this domino effect to what we see today. Yeah.
And, you know, but even back then with him and other things, he vilified people. He vilified atheists. I mean, he
was against Jewish people. Like, didn't he say some nasty stuff about Jewish people? I mean,
almost certainly.
Almost anybody, basically.
Right.
He was
almost certainly.
He was a us against them kind of dude. Very divisive.
Right. Well, you know, there's in my new family, I married my wife 10 years ago, day after tomorrow. And in her family, it has been torn apart by this Trump thing. There are members who made the mistake of letting people know they supported Trump. And then, you know, once everybody the other ones found out about it, they're like, you know what, we ain't got time for you if you're like that. Oh, well, I didn't really. Yeah, sure, you didn't. You know, and whenever you're willing to vote away your daughter's rights and your family's women's rights. Like,
before you could almost get away with it. Like, okay, I didn't like your politics, but we love each other. We're a family. But now I know I can only speak from my personal experience, but facing somebody, like, especially if it was a family member who voted for Trump, I feel as though you actually did vote against my human rights and my children's human rights. So now it's not just like, it's, you know, you want a tax cut here and I'd rather the tax. It's not that. Now we're actually talking about my ability to have agency of myself and my kids, more importantly, my kids.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's life or death. Yeah. So now it is more like divisive. I don't want to have a relationship with you, quite frankly, if you don't think that I'm human enough to have human rights.
Right.
Why?
That's right.
Like, why do I have to play nice? I can't.
Right. And why can't here's the thing, why can't we charge the politicians who implement these laws and stuff on us with the deaths of the people that are caused by this? For example, the abortion rules that have been caused. There's a state where a girl or a woman has died in a hospital parking lot or otherwise because she couldn't get the proper medical care she needed, and the politicians in that state should face charges because they put that on there. It's not the doctor. The doctors were afraid. That's why they were intimidated and afraid by the politicians for their licenses and for their livelihoods. The politicians should be charged with murder for killing these people.
I would
Elon Musk.
It would be fair. I think it would be fair that they would be held some kind of responsible for what they're causing. Yes.
Right. And Elon Musk and Doge should be held responsible for the lives, the genocide, the partial genocide that is caused by the deaths of people. Just the cuts from USA Aid, just the cuts from that. You know,
I think so
that's
too.
a lot of lives.
I think what would be better is for him to have to go to a country where that USA would be used and have to start doing it. Like, I want you on the ground handing out food aid. That is your penance, your what is it called? Penance?
Penance, yeah, I think so.
Penance, yeah, that is how you pay back. And amongst other things that he should have to suffer as well. But I don't think it's fair that they can make these decisions without caring for the effects of the people who rely on them.
Right.
I don't think that's very fair at all.
It's not. Steve Button says, my father is deep down in the conspiracy rabbit holes. I can't have an intelligent conversation with him. He's a Trump supporter and is tearing the family apart. And I've been saying this for a long time. Fox News needs to be sued out of existence, and those members of Fox News who've been actively spreading misinformation need to be prosecuted.
Isn't Fox being sued by
They are. Gavin Newsom.
California Governor Newsom?
Mm-hmm. Gavin Newsom, yeah.
I wonder what will happen with that.
I don't know. They really should. I wish we could. Can't we do a class action lawsuit? If anybody here wants to be on a class action lawsuit with me and knows anything about it, get us together. We'll do a class action lawsuit against Fox News for its attack on the democracy of the United States, because it's already proven that it did. That's one of the reasons why it paid out the $700 million was because they knew they were caught. They'd been busted.
I hope there is one. I hope maybe there is quietly one already starting to,
right.
I don't know, put its feelers out there to anybody who would be willing to, because you got to put your life on the line, really, your name out there if you're doing something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Could be a target.
And you should. They should be shut down. They absolutely should be shut down. And like collaborators, or there's got to be a word, collaborators, propaganda, whatever Joseph Goebbels faced for being the head of the propaganda for Nazi Germany, they should face. I am absolutely serious that these Fox News, because they've spread misinformation intentionally. Facebook and Meta and these other places have allowed misinformation to be spread on their platforms.
Yeah.
Knowing it's being spread on their platforms. It needs to stop. And they need to be prosecuted for it. Because if Mark Zuckerberg just goes, oh, here's $2 million in fines, he'll just do it again. And he'll just do it again and just do it again.
Wait, what did Bon Poppy say? Did you see what Bon Poppy said up there?
No.
Sorry, I was just kind of like scrolling back, trying to catch up with the chat a little bit. I can't highlight because I can't find it on there. But they said, Trump said yesterday that the program they are starting to let farmers keep their immigrant workers may be called the owner program, meaning the workers are their property. Get the F out of here. Please, somebody tell me that's fake news. Y'all.
I would know.
See,
somebody
back to Jim Crow, back to straight up slavery, even worse than Jim Crow, possibly.
I'm looking here. I don't see
owner program. The fact that we can put all this money, these billions of dollars, into building a new facility to house immigrants, people who are fleeing conflict and fighting for the American dream. They came here because they were promised an American dream.
Yeah.
And now they could go to a prison where it's 100 degrees and like 60% humidity or whatever the hell it is in the Everglades. Meanwhile, ruining the land. Oh my God. Depravity. So deep.
It says the owner program is ending the CHNV humanitarian parole program, terminated protections for 500,000 people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela who held legal temporary status. Pardon me. Recipients were told to self-deport via the DHS home mobile app with $1,000 incentive and travel support. Number 2, they backed out of the international entrepreneurial rule. The Trump team moved to scrap the Obama-era visa, which allowed startup founders to stay on renewable parole. And then they are introducing the $5 million gold card investor visa. Propose a new residency for purchase schemes as a replacement. I have no idea what any of this is about. In short, it's an approach to dismantle several humanitarian parole and environmental pathways. I don't know. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with people keeping their owner. That's why I want to look it up and find out more about it. You know, there's this owner status. It wouldn't surprise me. Which amendment gives black people their freedom? Was it the 15th Amendment?
I don't. God, I'm bad. I need to. Do
I think it was the 15th. Yeah, I have it up here. I have them up here. I doubt there are any. Let's see here. Swaggart, 28 days, oath and constitution. Let me just look here and see if I can find it. I may not be able to find it quickly, what I'm looking for anyway. All right. Anyway, let me go back over here and check out everybody here. What's going on the show? Bobby, that's not what it's. Okay. He said during a presser yesterday. Okay. Bomb Poppy said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He said it during a presser yesterday. I will find it. Thank you, Bomb Poppy. If you will hook me up with a link, if you can, I will pop it up and we'll look at it and see what the hell's going on. Wouldn't surprise me though. I mean, 13th is freedom, 14th is citizens, 15th is the right of anybody to vote. So absolutely. I suspect that that they would absolutely go up. And remember, 13 was not one of them that was in the thing. What's that, girl?
Oh no, I was just hearting Ember.
Oh, for looking up the thing at the place with the stuff. Good morning, Pragmatic Humanist. How are you doing, Praggy? Good to see you. I hope you're having a great week so far.
Well, it looks like the people like Amy Coney Barrett have this different opinion of what the Constitution means. I guess they want to read it literally, like literally. And then they want to read into it when it's ambiguous and then not read into it when it's very super clear. They basically are cherry picking the Constitution the way that they do with the Bible. They read things into it and then originalism. That's the word. Thank you. I couldn't think of what it was. Thank you.
Simply Secular Dave, I do believe the 13th Amendment is missing from the Trump Bible. I believe it is.
It stops after the 11th. And again, that could just be them being cheap. But it's weird to just stop at the 11th Amendment.
Really? Yeah. Wait a second here. I don't know. Is 11? Yeah, was it the 11th? Pragmatic Humanist. I haven't been keeping up with the news yet. She says Pragmatic Humanist. Apologies. I thought it was Praggy. Pragmatic Humanist says, I'm disappointed and disgusted this morning. They once again allowed the monsters to escape real consequences. Diddy's going to more or less.
No way.
I wonder how much he paid.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah, I wonder how much he paid to.
Yeah, Trump and the Bible is an oxymoron. Absolutely, Adrian.
Let me just check something here. Yeah, well, not really. Not really. Trump is exactly, I mean, we think about the notion of the Diddy acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering charges, convicted of prostitution offenses.
Wowsies. So basically he did it, but we're just going to whittle it down to a basic slap on the wrist after all he's done.
That's right. And, you know, there was even talk about him reaching out to Donald Trump for a pardon.
You did. I
saw this before.
Donald Trump said something about it, like kind of jokingly or something.
Because he's known Diddy. He goes back. They go back a long time ago.
Together, isn't there not?
Like his token black friend or some shit. Yeah, so absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run our second Wild Bill video for those of you, since I did the first one earlier. And we're going to take a little break. And whenever we come back, we'll talk more about craziness. Jimmy Swaggart has passed. Donald Trump is crazy. Oh, and Steve Button, welcome to becoming a channel supporter. Thank you for becoming an Ollie fan. Very much appreciate you. We're cheap. It's only $1 a month for the bottom tier. So go do the thing. We appreciate you. We'll be back in just a minute. Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. Finally. I'm Wild Bill Wigglestick, and this is my trusty sidekick, Willie the Kid. And we'll be your handsome hosts, your gilded guide, your cowboys, concierges to Shakespeare. Oh, how cute. Wait, is that at 2, Ollie? Run along, little doggy. Bill, where the hell have you been? Well, you know, I've been roaming the earth, going back and forth upon it, to and fro and whatnot. I like to travel too. Wait a second. Yep, back and forth upon earth, doing unto others before they do unto me. Bill, are you quoting the Bible, trying to quote the Bible? Indeed I am. Despite my appearance, I am a man of culture and know many things, not just Shakespeare. Really? So you have a Shakespeare monologue related to atheism or skepticism? Indeed I do. Bear witness. Oh, this is going to be good. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the product of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence. And all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. An admirable evasion of whoremaster man to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Wow, that really is spot on about what we cover here on the channel, about how, people. So here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, this non-believer, ignores the teachings of his learned father and ends up getting 4 people killed. Bill, that's not... Okay. Carry on. Shakespeare was a heathenistic non-believer bound for the fiery pits of hell, just like yourselves. I don't think. And in order to throw the murderous church of the time off his heathen trail, he writes the skeptic as a sneaking, lying, adulterated father and brother, hating and betraying villain who ends up getting his comeuppance in the end. Bill, oh, come on, man. You're always blah, blah, Bible stuff, blah, blah, boring. You got to spice things up. Bill, tacos are spicy. Everybody loves tacos. Bill, tacos and boobies. Okay, you're not wrong there either. Tasty and delicious culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid the storm of familial discontent. Blow winds and clap your cheeks by clicking that subscribe button and hitting that. Wait a second. Don't you mean crack your cheeks? Nope. Bill. Send safely, my friends. Take care.
Peace.
Hey, we are back. Big Zebra says, Jimmy Swaggart once said, I have sinned against thee, O Lord, but Swaggart was a literal wanker. Well, apparently he was getting somebody else to wank him. And he got caught twice. So, yes. Fingernail hits enter too fast. Oh, I see. So yeah, that's what's going on in the world. This is the Queen's English, y'all. Just barely. Somehow. I don't know.
Oh, what, you're English?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Misinterpretations was talking about. Let's see here. Tears of Love. I'm just checking our stuff real quick. And let me check our poll for the morning and see how it's going. We actually kind of have two. Let's see if we have, well, so far we're at 45% repeat offender, 21% newbies out there watching the show for the first time. So, oh, hey, congratulations. Dr. Kip is a grandpa, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go. Congratulations, Dr. Kip.
Oh, yeah, he has a show tonight, you guys, about God Dick. God
about
Dick.
God Dicks. That's
God
right.
Dick.
There you go. Got it.
Just rolls
Powerful
off the
dick.
tongue. Got it.
It does, doesn't it? Yes, the way you read Shakespeare in Queen's English.
I love that.
That's right. Thank you for that. Kip Davis, yeah, congrats on that. Congrats on your little Nino. So here's our poll again. Jimmy Swaggart has died. Let's see how many people have voted. 60 votes. And it looks like we've got a single vote for a wonderful God-fearing man who helped generations find God. So there's one indoctrinated individual out there. Hypocrisy, preaching sexual purity while employing sex workers. 68% of the vote, I think, is leaning that way so far. So no surprise. Again, like most people, I thought he was already dead. So let's see. Womp womp. Yeah, Brinley, what are we talking about? Brinley use. Yeah. If you go to Adam and Eve, use what is it? Is it use code Brinley?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, you get a
Brintley.
discount. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Get your butt plugged at a discount.
Your butt's stuff.
There you go. Stuff your butt with some stuff. Big Zebra says, Ryan, that's a great line. Yeah, I'm sure it probably does.
Song, I got the moves like Swaggart. I got the moves like Swaggart. Instead of Jagger. I don't know why.
Big Zebra says, Swaggart can't be dead. He was born twice. So does he have to die twice?
To make it even. Seems like it.
Well, was he pro-life? The nerve of him to go and die after being pro-life.
Right?
What the hell's wrong with him?
Blasphemers.
I know. Heretics. Freaking heretics. You know they are. Father Flanagan's fanny filler. That's in the OnlyFans. Link below. Just saying. Yeah. So far we've got some votes. Let's see something else that's going on here. Another drop in the flood of hate vaporized. That's right, my friend. That's right.
Adios.
13 comments. Goodness gracious.
Not sad to see you gone.
And yeah, now it's like the roulette wheel of death. Who gets it next? Who's next? Adrian Belgrave. I know.
Copeland would be a good choice.
Really? I mean,
but also I dislike that guy. Oh man, I can't remember what his name is. He's one of the many who say that people with autism have demons. That guy.
Oh, I don't know.
He always has like an outside tent. And he's
the
the
chat
one,
may help us out.
yeah, and he's the one who got his tax exemption taken away from him. I can't remember who he is. Anyway, yeah. If he went next, Locke.
Greg Locke, the tent guy. Okay.
Tent guy.
Man, you guys really know your.
They know the tent guy. That's funny. Everybody knows the tent guy. Too funny.
Wow. Everybody seems to know their psychopathic religious nutbags. Well done, people. When will Swaggart be raised from the dead and demand more tithes? That's a great question. What if this was all just a prank? All right. And like 3 days from now, he shows up. He's like, I've risen from the dead.
You've been pranked.
We shouldn't give him ideas.
Don't.
We'll hear the news about the passing of poor Joel Osteen, and then guess what? He's back.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Wouldn't. Not a bit. Not a bit. Wouldn't be the first time, I don't think.
See, right up their alley.
Viclit, thank you for showing up this morning and chilling the stream. We appreciate you. I really need to point out, guys, we are going, let's see, 4 days from now, we will be at the Ark Encounter protest. Not me, not her, but me. I will be at the Ark Encounter protest in Arkansas. Fuck, I did it again. In Tennessee.
It's okay, Chris.
Okay. I can do this.
You're going to be all right.
It's in Kentucky. The Ark Encounter protest is in Kentucky. And we will be there in just a few days doing the sinning and blasphemy thing. I will be there sweating. Lots of sweating. If you want to get some Chris sweat, I'll be charging just a little bit, like $2 for like a drop.
Get like a little vial that
yes,
they can
bring
wear
your
around
own
their
vial.
neck.
I love it. Bring your own vial though. For now. Yes.
Then you use
what
it
I'm going to do,
water.
I'm actually going to get, I've got it already, a QR code that people can click on and come find out about our stuff. I'm going to have that up there. So we'll be able to do that. Looking forward to doing that. Now they are going to actually have, I missed this too, though. I wish I'd have been able to get in earlier and do this, but I believe Casey and John, the Godless Engineer, and Mrs. Godless Engineer are going to go with a group of people up to the Creation Museum and go through there and get a giggle out of what they got going on.
Fun.
I know, right?
Very jealous.
Good morning, the boys. Sage Nimbus, praise the Lord. That individual says. Good luck with that. Yeah. Why would the Lord need prayer? Can I ask? Why would an all-knowing, all-powerful creature
I know.
need praise? Why would it need praise? Why would it need to be told, you are good, you are good, you are holy? Why would it need its people to tell it that?
If I were God and some human, some peeny little human told me that I needed something, I'd beat that ass. I don't need anything from you. Just saying, especially if I can read your heart and your mind. I already know that you like me.
Yeah. So what's with all the praise? I don't get all the praise. Why people praise Doug though? Praising Doug makes more sense.
He's worthy of praise. There is a difference. It's not equal comparison.
Right.
Okay.
And
That's a fallacy.
true. And we are, of course, rock hard for Doug, and that makes obviously all the difference in the world.
Right, but there is no bias there.
No. Of course not. So he can
Doug
be proud
is a
of
jealous
his
God. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Doug is. So the boy says so he can be proud of his creation, but right. But you're giving him praise. Why he can't be proud of his creation without your praise? That's weird, isn't it? That's weird. What a small-minded, petty God with very fragile feelings.
Yeah,
like,
it sounds like emotional
problems.
damage.
Yes.
Emotional damage.
That's what it sounds like to me. I'm just guessing. Just, it does sound that way though. Someone at the ARC protest should do a Zoom call with me so I can be there with you virtually. Well, that's not a bad idea. Here's the thing. I'm going to take my equipment with me, and I'm going to try to live stream the ARC Encounter protest. Sorry, my eyes were yawning. I'm going to try to live stream the ARC Encounter protest if we can get some Wi-Fi there. I don't know that I'll be able to live stream the entire protest on my data on my phone, but that may end up being the only Wi-Fi access available. Now, if there's like Xfinity out there and I think it's, got a free Wi-Fi or some shit, if I can get onto some kind of Wi-Fi, then I will stream it. But if I can't, I will record it. At worst, I'll record it. So fingers crossed. Let's see what other folks have to say here. Scott, God is like Trump. The difference being Trump is real. That is a difference. Yeah, he doesn't need it, but he likes it. And if you praise him, you follow his ways, and his ways are perfect. His ways are not perfect. Absolutely not perfect. What if his ways were perfect, then he would have created perfect people. He wouldn't have had to drown them all. Mm-hmm. There's so many ways in which he wasn't perfect. He created Adam and Eve in the garden, and then he let a serpent in. How perfect was that? It was his garden that he wanted tended. Now, who's been tending it ever since? Nobody? Is his garden gone awry?
Did it go away?
Right. No, yeah. So, there's just so much. Your God is so unperfect in so many ways.
Maybe there's a garden somewhere with two angels standing in front of it with a sword swinging around, protecting it.
That's a good question. Did the angels get insulted whenever God kicked out the lowly humans? And they're like, listen, those humans couldn't be trusted. You now have to work the garden. Not just guard it. Sure, there's an angel guarding it, but who's going to work it? If not the humans,
now they got double duty.
I know. Double duty.
They're going to be pissed off.
They're going to be pissed off. Not happy angels.
No.
They're probably not happy angels.
Not at all. Human labor. That's below them.
Right. That's right. It is. Well, at least with their wings, no, they're screwed. Anyway, not in a good way either.
Getting away, you know what I mean? When you're trying to shovel stuff and pull weeds, it just, God damn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You okay?
The wings.
Oh, yes, the wings. That's right. They would get in the way. Sorry. Yes, I was distracted by a chat. The boys says I just switched to my PC. Phone is way too laggy to comment in there. So yeah, that's true. Understood. Yeah. So there's just so many things. A believer in this God. If you're going to go on the whole notion that it's perfect, that just hasn't been thought out very well. Or you've been misled.
Perfect, then why make them imperfect by cutting their little peepees?
Right. If man was made in the image of God, why did he make us with a foreskin? And why did he demand that we cut it off?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to start going with us, the Old Testament, that's not God. Jesus is the message. Well, no, the Old Testament is God. Jesus is like God and man pretending, right? So it's still God, though. The Old Testament is still God.
He's the new God. He's the shiny new thing to dangle in front. Look, here's the new God. look how pretty he is.
Native
He's nicer.
atheist. He's nicer, very much nice. He won't smite you as much.
As much.
Literally, here's the deal. The Old Testament describes a hideous, hideous, horrible monster. The Old Testament does. That's what it describes. Go look at it. It's horrible. The New Testament is nothing but Jesus going, listen, if you follow me, that horrible monster of the Old Testament won't get you and gobble you up in its pit of fire. That's essentially the balls to bones basics of it. That evil monster that is God is still there. It's still horrific. It's just now, as long as you follow this one person who said, made that claim.
Now you get to cherry pick the stuff that you want from the Tanakh and just utilize it and ignore anything that's good, because there's a lot of good things I think are really cool in there. I do. I found there's like some beautiful poetry and some really cool stories, but they're just stories. They're not ways of life. They're not moral premises. They're just stories that people have read into. Other than that.
Yes. And something else though we could compare it to? Those stories. I mean, there are some good stories, some nice poetry, etc. Wonderful, wonderful something, I'm sure, in there. But that is like, as mentioned before, digging pieces of corn out of a huge pile of shit.
That's our history, unfortunately.
It really is.
If you're a woman, like that's literally all we have.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
unfortunately, since the Bible is so important, which, it just sucks that it does, the only thing I can do is dig through the shit to find a mention of me and try to brush it off. But my life is a pile of shit with corn in it.
That's right. Gotta really want that sweet corn, though.
That sweet, sweet taste of sweet corn.
Right. Ooh,
Those little nubs, they just pop in your mouth,
That's right. They really do. Once you get them washed off enough, anyway.
It all goes to the same place, Chris.
Let's see here. StreamYard. We're talking about StreamYard. Let's see. StreamYard costs money. Okay, I want to mention here something about StreamYard. If StreamYard is too expensive for you because they really have jacked up their prices, go to Streamlabs. Streamlabs is a lot cheaper. You get the OBS version if you want to use it, but you don't have to if you use it. Streamlabs also has a web-based version that is almost just like StreamYard. It's the same bag and chips, man. So go check out Stream. I used to have an affiliate link. I don't have anymore. I don't care. But I'm just, as a nerd who does this, go save yourself some coin and move the hell away from StreamYard. They just want way, way too much. Streamlabs, of course, it has the download like OBS, but it also has a web-based version. You're going to want the web-based version. It's called Videos. I don't remember what it's called, but look for the web-based version. There's also a free version too. But if you're willing to pay if you're willing to pay $65 for StreamYards, you're willing to pay $20 for Streamlabs and have the same functionality. So awesome.
Learn the OBS stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to get ready to rebuild my stuff, and I do it every now and then. I know it's worrisome to me too. Captain Deadpool walked in the door, finally showing up. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. We were talking about the passing of Jimmy Swaggart. I think, Adrian Belgrave, I think let's see, Streamlabs has really gone up. They were stupid expensive. Let's go StreamYard pricing. Come on, StreamYard. Let's go here. Where is the pricing? Business pricing. The core one, it's not going to tell me because it's a bitch. Oh, it doesn't want, that's because it's that expensive. It doesn't want to tell me.
No, don't even want to tell you.
Right. You have to sign up and get a free trial first, and then it'll tell you. Let me see here. Reject all. Yeah, it had gotten pretty expensive. Let's go here. StreamYard. Because it's $44.99, Ember says. So it's twice what.
Damn. That's expensive.
Yep. It really is. And I don't really think it's all that good of a thing. I don't like the look of it, like the way it looks. You can tell who's using StreamYard by the way it shares their shit. You just look at it and go, oh yeah, that's a StreamYard.
The layout. Yeah. I mean, you can customize it a little bit now, but it's still just clunky. They're trying to update it, but yeah, it's just still clunky. Like I said, I enjoy the feature where it will do AI clips because sometimes the clips are helpful, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And you probably can find other services that do that for you.
Streamlabs will do that too.
Yeah. Okay.
This program will do it too. So it's got the same thing in there. So it'll do it too, which I think is cool. Yeah. Captain Deadpool, Jimmy Swaggart has died. We thought he was already dead. I thought he was already dead anyway. A lot of people here thought he was already dead. Yeah. So
nobody shed a tear.
Not a lot of tears. Not seeing any tears here. But man, again, how many people did this man defraud out of their money? You know, I mean, it's just one of the things I'd like to say is, you know, I think we actually should teach religion in school. We should have a world religion. Absolutely. We should. We really should. I've said this before. We should have the one that can actually literally come out and prove their God is real. Like scientifically prove, have him bark and, you know, roll over like a dog for us to give us the proof we need. We'll worship that bastard. But until then, you shouldn't get any tax breaks or any, you're just a crazy crackpot. I mean, that's all it is. And religion is proven over and over and over and over again. It is the most harmful thing in society, period. The most harmful singular thing in society. There are some good things that you get from religion, but you can get those good things without religion. There are people out there who do good and who give, and there's food banks and all this, and you don't have to do any of that or be religious to do any of those things. You know, good people do those things. So
comparative religious studies, yeah, that would be great.
Well, in my book, if you've read my book, which very few people have, in my book that I wrote back in 2013 called Anti-Theist, which you can find on Amazon. In that book, I made the proposal that what we could do is take two separate hospitals, and each hospital like have one based on science and this other hospital based on Catholic prayers. And the only people allowed in the hospital as far as patients are ones that are known to be terminal if they don't get either medical intervention or godly intervention. And let's see who works. Let's see who has a better survival rate.
I certainly wouldn't choose the religious hospital.
Right. If you're a believer out there, would you choose a religious hospital? Or, you know, if you're a Catholic, would you choose a Catholic hospital that's not allowed to use medicine, only the powers of their prayers and their God's powers? Because you could argue that a lot of Catholics actually did start schools, or there's Catholic hospitals or some business like that. That's just like a appropriation, where the Catholics have appropriated the science of medicine to start a hospital and actually start truly healing people. So,
yeah, good luck with that.
I know, right? Let me see here. I love coming to the atheist streams because people say good points I don't think about, and I do research about it and end up learning more. That's good to know, the boys. I appreciate your attitude. Sometimes we have people come in who are very just, and sometimes we react too soon. You know, we're used to people being jerks and preaching or spamming or just wanting to say hateful things about people. So at first, whenever we see you're a follower, it's easiest for us to go, oh, wait a second, what's this person going to say? You know, and presume too much. Yes. Did I tell you I was on, I'm not going to use the word on my channel. But I was watching Justin over there, and he got a call from a good holy Christian who opened the thing, and he's like, you know, I just want to talk to you about this. And it was just like a distraction. He got his way through the filter, the man in the back, the filter, you know. And once he was on with Justin, he started just a few, not even a whole sentence, and then he just started saying the N-word over and over and over.
What?
Over and over again. Just a few days ago on Justin's stream. He said N-word, and he just kind of said all kinds of really hateful things. He's like, I know you're going to kick me off. Go ahead and kick me off now. And then he started doing it again, saying ugly things. And Justin had a lot more patience with him than I did.
Wow. Absolutely. What a jerk.
Well, they're there, I guess.
Child. Like, what kind of childish behavior? Who does that?
Pathetic, tiny penis people.
And what did you prove?
Right.
Nothing that you're a racist POS. Congratulations, I guess.
And his very next, Drusilla said she heard that. This is they. I don't know if I apologize. I don't know your gender, Drusilla. Apologies. Said they heard that. Yeah. It was interesting. Then the very next person that got on the call, I believe it was the very next one, was going like, yeah, I'm Bob. I'm the guy who destroyed you the other day. yeah, I destroyed you. And I was like, oh God, what a moron. Yeah. Justin's like, yeah, sure. I'm
Yawn.
sure you did. And those people, I mean, they're the ones that no matter what you do, they're always going to say they won. That's half the reason why we don't do any of the debating. Let's see here. I'm going to do our super chats, and we'll wrap up our show. Left-handed Jedi for $2 said, "Huzzah, let the pigeons loose. He won't be missed." Very true. I think we're talking about Jimmy Swaggart. Left-handed Jedi for $5 said, "His scalp has been pulled so far back, the middle of his back has a hairline." Dave Murphy for $10 says, "Apostate Sisters are awesome, as is Dr. Kip. Hail Doug." Thank you. You're right on all those points.
Subscribe to everybody.
Go subscribe to them all. Go and Dave Murphy, man, he's got some flair. Go follow Dave Murphy. Dr. Kip, smart guy, way smart. Too smart. Shouldn't be in our chat. I don't know why he's in our chat.
Get out of here.
He enjoys love our humor. That's all I got to say. And the Apostate Sisters are fantastic. They have the best set of boobies.
They've got great boobies.
They really do.
Squeeze them.
She has. I mean, they're just wonderful. So thank you for that. So not wrong on any point, Dave Murphy. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Chick Magnate has been a member for 1 month at the channel supporter level. Thank you for staying a member. And Chick Magnate gave us $5. Says, "It's nice to see how all the atheist gods get along so well. Doug, Lisa, Roland, Atheismo, and No Way." I like No Way. I don't think I've ever heard No Way as opposed to Yahweh. Yahweh, no way, man. No squabbles, no drama, not like those real deities. I know. We're going to have to lay siege to some other atheists somehow. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. We'll other them some way. And Steve Button became a channel supporter. Thank you, Steve, for becoming a channel supporter. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you for all of your support. I very much appreciate you. Again, guys, I'm going to be in Arkansas.
That's where it is.
Fuck.
You did it.
No, it's Kentucky.
Oh.
It's Kentucky.
You didn't do
Williamstown, Kentucky. It's in Kentucky. I'm going to be at the Ark Encounter protest. So this Sunday, I'm going to try to live stream and all that stuff. You guys try to be there. I want to eat a pizza or something. I'm going to go eat and get some calories on board.
Maybe that's what you need.
Right. These love handles don't maintain themselves.
Work hard.
All right, girl, you stay good. Say hi to Pickles for us.
Will do.
Everyone out there, have a great Wednesday. Sin safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all. Now, wait a second. Wait. I screwed up. There was no music for the thing. The people love this song, so I got to play the song. Let me restart the start screening.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned own. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the goat candle, don't even think.